Well, you don't have to look very far to see how many wonderful things are going on at Northwestern, and it just gives me pleasure to introduce our next speaker. She was here with her partner, Dr. Jen Ozwald is here. Jennifer Page was here with her last fall to talk about the teacher's closet. Unfortunately, Jennifer Page's father, or grandfather passed away, and she's in Louisiana for that. And they call themselves Team Jennifer. I have tried to call them Jennifer Squared because I think that's a lot funnier, but I have no clout with them. But it is a pleasure. Dr. Ozwald is going to talk about the teacher's closet and how successful that has been on campus. And also she's going to give you some information on the Literacy Center, which not only helps her education students with hands-on experience, but it is doing a remarkable job here in Alva, Oklahoma. So with that, Dr. Jen Ozwald.
So like he said, I'm Dr. Jen Ozwald. I am a graduate of Northwestern twice over, and so this is like home to me. When I was offered a job here 6 years ago, I took it and moved my family, and we've been here ever since, and we love it. Both of our sets of our parents are here, and we just plan on sticking around. So last fall, Dr. Page and I were here telling you about the startup of the teacher's closet and the need for steamers and racks and clothing donations. We are proud to say the racks are in. The clothing donations keep coming in, and we want those to keep coming in. And this morning I served number 37 of our students that have come through and collected clothes just this year since we got started last fall. So that makes me very happy when they come in and need professional clothes. So we started this with the intent of helping our student teachers transition from that student wardrobe to the teacher wardrobe and be more professional in their dress. However, the response from the community has been amazing. We like to say we are overwhelmed by the generosity of the citizens of Alva. And we have been able to branch out. We actually have an event next Wednesday with the Division of Business students are coming over, and they are going to be having an event in the teacher's closet. So we are just thrilled that we are able to make an impact. So keep those donations, clothing donations coming in. We still need larger sizes, both men's and women's. So shoes, bags, purses, jewelry. We've expanded into a third closet. We had 2 to start with. Now we're in a third one. And we still have a donation room. So I guess technically we have 4. We have 4 rooms now. And so we are thrilled with being able to help our students. And we just finished an event, was that just last week? Wow. Last Wednesday with the student teachers. We served them a luncheon through SOEA, and they come in, they eat lunch, and they get to shop in the closets for free. And they left with several outfits each. It was amazing. We had 18 students at that event. So, any questions about that one? Yes.
So the business department will be coming out of the closet on Thursday?
Yes, you can quote that.
She does not deserve that. Larger sizes, what qualifies as larger sizes?
With the men's, we need a lot of 2X, 3X, 4X. With the women's, we need a lot of 18s, 20s. We also need, and these aren't larger sizes because they're my sizes, we also need like 14s and 16s because that seems to be, and 12s because that seems to be very common. Those disappear first. So with women's, we just all the time, we always
have shoe sizes, what are you short on?
All of it. we have shoes, but not a whole lot. Those disappear too.
Remind me where we're bringing the things?
You can either contact Dr. Page and myself, and we will come to you and pick them up.
Okay.
Or you can bring them to the Education Center. The office is room 205, and they can take them from you there.
Which building?
Education Center.
Oh, okay.
Room 205.
What kind of shape do the clothes that were being brought in need to be in? Look like a business suit or a sports coat or something like that that had been cleaned 8 years ago, but hanging in the closet all that time, would it need to be re-cleaned before it was brought
We would
in?
appreciate that, but we take them in those conditions where we steam clean them ourselves too.
Now, you might not realize it, but I don't have many 2X and 3X.
But you might know some people that,
Yeah, right.
that could help us. Other questions?
I realize you're in for the interviews, so you're wanting dress wear. Do you also accept casual stuff or not?
Yes, we do, but we want it to be still professional dress. You would be surprised at some of the things that we get. We had beer T-shirts in one donation, and I thought, really, maybe they need the beer, but they can't wear this in an interview. So yes, like polo
Just
shirts
polo
and
top,
khaki
polo.
pants, yes, those go over really great with our young men.
I was going to say that polo shirts
Yes,
would be nice.
yes. And button up, we have some ag ed students, so we have some like pearl snap, nice pearl snap shirt, Western shirts that were donated. And we can definitely use those too.
You said you had an event that had 16 or 18 people there. Is that something you invited a group, or is that just
Just
who
the
accepted
student
the
teachers.
invitation there?
Just the student teachers,
Just the student teachers?
That's a lot of student teachers, though.
yes.
We're in the used clothing business as well, and so we have had some referrals to come down to the Elegant Toad, and we too furnish clothing to student teachers, and we do have some plus sizes. So
Wonderful, thank you.
we have lots of used clothing, or as we refer to them, the second disaster. But you're right, some of them are
It's amazing that
appropriate.
it's dropped off sometimes.
Where do you see the future of this program?
Continuing to serve all of our students, and just, I don't think we can grow anymore as far as our capacity. I think we've taken over all the rooms that they're gonna give us, but just continuing to cycle through those things and keep the donations coming in and keep everything fresh.
Do you need volunteers?
We have work nights every semester. We have several work nights. If you'll follow us on our Facebook page,
Oh,
NWOSU Teachers Closet, we announce when our work nights will be, and you're more than welcome to volunteer to come up and hang and steam and organize and sort clothes.
Do you allow the teachers when they come in, I mean, are they limited to 2 outfits or just the grab bag, whatever they can haul out?
Whatever they want that they will use is what we ask them to do. Most of the time, I tell them ahead of time to look at their wardrobe and see what they're lacking. So if they need 4 shirts, if they are okay with pants and skirts, then they need shirts, then come in with that plan. If you need outfits, come in with the plan of, I need outfits. If you just need pants, come in with the plan that you just need pants. So I ask them to look at what they already have, and we can help fill some of those holes as well as picking out a new outfit. They like to call them power suits. Those go first, you know, the pantsuits with the jackets. They like to have those as well.
What's your favorite story so far from the student?
I like the selfies that they send me when they are out in the field teaching. I get the selfie. Here I am in my teacher's closet outfit. Thanks so much for all that you do. I've gotten about 3 or 4 of those now, and that's fun. As far as meeting the needs of the students, this is something that Dr. Page and I are very passionate about because we saw a big need. You know, I can tell you stories about kids who, I say kids, they're adults, but they're my kids. Kids who thought maybe they should change their major because they honestly couldn't afford to go and buy dress slacks. And, you know, those are the people that we need in the classroom. So. Other questions? Are you ready for the next one?
Thank you,
Okay.
Jim.
The literacy center? Do you want me to talk about the literacy center? You want me to go back to that? I also run the Northwestern Literacy Center. I founded that it's been in existence for about 1.5 years now. And we just offer free reading, tutoring to students in area schools. So far it's all been ALVA, but my education major students are paired with a student from the community, and they offer one-on-one literacy tutoring. We offer assessments to get to know that child, what they're interested in, where their weaknesses are as far as literacy, whether it's reading, writing, speaking, listening, what component of reading it might be. We offer very individualized instruction for those students that come in and seek us out. And my students work on a volunteer basis right now, and the parents are required to bring them and to attend any trainings that we have for parents. Right now, when I say trainings, I'm giving them ideas of things to do at home. So this is the weaknesses vocabulary. So this is a game that you can play at home. It's going to help improve their vocabulary. Or this is a book that we found to be successful. We've read a few chapters. This is how you can finish it. You read a page, they read a page. You read a page, they read a page. So we're giving them ideas on how to help their child. So we're working with the whole family, not just the child there.
How do you get, you may have said this, I may have missed it, how do you get the kids? Are they referred to you, or?
We have referrals from teachers,
Okay.
and they have an application process every semester. And we look for those that have the highest need that we're going to serve first. I try really hard, and most of the time I'm successful with being able to find a volunteer for each student. And so far I've kept up with the demand. But at first when we started, we had a waiting list. And so it took me a while to get all of them placed with a tutor and find a tutor for all of them. So it takes a little while every semester to get it going and assess our new ones that we haven't ever seen before, and help guide our tutors, because they're learning too. They learn just as much as their students do on how to teach reading. So
If you have a student referred by a teacher, are the parents of that child also automatically involved?
yes, they recommend to the parents. They refer the parents to me.
And the recommendation usually takes, the parents usually,
I don't know how many they actually refer that don't make it to me, but I know that most of our new ones that we get are from the teachers referring them to me. But like I said, I don't know how many they've said this is a service, apply, and they didn't.
So the parents have to take the initiative.
Yes. And most of the time our target audience ends up being about 2nd or 3rd grade, because of that 3rd grade reading law. They start getting really nervous about 2nd and 3rd grade, and so we have a lot of 2nd and 3rd graders, a few 1st graders, a few 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, but we have the go all the way to, actually I have an adult, a mom of a kindergartner that we have been working with, that she's coming for services as well. And I take her. I'm not going to pass her off on one of my students. I take her.
Approximately how many are you serving?
Right now I have 7. Last semester I had 16. So spring semester is always a little slow. Fall semester, they're always gung-ho, and we serve more. And spring is just we lag a little bit in the spring. I'm not sure if it's because they get involved in athletics and all of those. I don't know. I haven't. But most of all but 2 are returning from the fall semester.
I want to share something. I had the blessing of standing outside the lab, the classroom. Last year, I guess, we were working with Dr. Ozwald on some marketing materials, and it was at the end of what would have been the end of the school day for the public system, and we saw these children come in with their parents, and I was thinking it must be difficult to get a child who's struggling in school to want to have another session of school. And looking back, I thought the last thing I wanted to do when that bell rang was go back into the classroom. These kids were skipping in and running, and they were excited about being there. They went into the lab, they sat down with their teachers, and they immediately got to work. They didn't care that adults were standing in their room with them. They were not distracted. They were intent on enjoying something that they were learning. So.
That's the power of one-on-one. That's why I will never do small group. It's going to be one-to-one. If I have the volunteers for as many kids, I will take them.
Any chance of broadening that out to other subjects? I know a lot of kids can have problems with things other than the written and spoken word.
You would have to ask my colleague who teaches math.
That's what I was thinking.
That's not me. I
But there
know
is something similar to your program.
we do have an early childhood lab going in, and I'm not sure. I know that one of her focuses of instruction is math, and so I'm not sure what she may offer in those cases. But I'm strictly a reading teacher. I can fumble through math, but it's going to be a fumble.
Where does the funding come from? Like for books or materials?
Glad you asked. The first year we operated with a big zero. I mean, whatever we could find, we used. Whatever was donated, whatever I had left over for my classroom, we used. And last fall we had a donor donate to the Literacy Center, and we were able to purchase lots of new technology, lots of new research-based tutoring materials that are ready to go. The tutor can pull them off and with minimal planning meet the needs of that child. So we've got different areas of reading that I focused on getting materials for. So if they're weak in phonics, we have programs for that. We have, if they're weak in comprehension, we have different materials, hands-on materials, games for the different components of comprehension. And so it's been a game changer for us. We have the materials to meet the needs of the students with a lot less effort on the part of our tutors.
But do you need continual financial support?
I will always. We always need something. There's always something. And my students are creative, and you would have been amazed at the things that they came up with just, here's this cabinet full of materials. Whatever you need from there, please use it. We had one that was working on sight words, and the teacher with painter's tape taped down some flashcards, and they did what we call a sight word walk down the hallway. I mean, down the hallway at the college, we've got these things going. We've used stairs, and they had comprehension questions, and each stair had a different question, and it's just amazing the things that they come up with. We have a digital file that they all have access to, and it has a lot of ideas like that to keep kids, because a lot of times they just need to be moving. It's amazing what they can do if they just have a little bit of movement. Other questions?
Your tutors are your students in the education department?
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
how do the tutors feel that experience helps them in their education career?
They love it. It's amazing because I can't compensate them. That's my goal. I wish that someday I could give them something for their time. But I cannot compensate. It would be me that compensated them. And I can't do that. And they come in happily and say, what can I do? I want to be a better teacher. This is going to help me be a better teacher. And so that's why I want to do this. But I also want to help a kid. And the last day of tutoring, the elementary student cries, and then my college student is crying because it's the last day of tutoring, and they're not going to see that student again for, sometimes it's a couple of weeks if they get to come back the following semester. I'm lacking a lot of tutoring this semester because most of my students that were in the class last fall their student teaching this semester, so I lost them. They didn't get to come back. So they say that that is one of the most beneficial experiences that they have, because not only do they get experience teaching, but they get experience giving assessments and identifying where students are struggling. And that's a long process for me, but I think that's important to guide them through thinking that through for themselves, so that eventually that transfers into the classroom, that they are able to identify where a student is missing the skills. Because reading's tough. I mean, one little piece could be missing, and that's all they need is that one little piece. But it's different for each kid, identifying which piece is missing. So that takes some time to develop that skill.
Do you have an idea as to the percentage of your teacher education students who actually go through the program, get their degree, and get out? Do you have an idea as to the percentage of those who actually leave the field of teaching and go into other fields?
I don't. I know the ones that I have kept up with are still teaching. Now, I've been here 6 years, so that's not a whole lot of teachers that are out there. But the ones that I keep up with, I always tell them you can't be my Facebook friend until you graduate. And so then, you know, the ones that add me that I can keep up with, they are still in the classroom. I haven't seen any of them leave yet. I know their biggest complaint right now is emergency certified teachers. They feel like they are helping them, like that's become an extra burden for them to help somebody who's never been a teacher, and then that person's getting paid just as much as they are. That's a common complaint that I hear from them, and after a while that would get really frustrating. So that's something that I have taken to task forces multiple times. It's an issue. Other questions?
Thank you, Dr. Ozwald.